Hi, and welcome to another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist. I am your host, Dennis Richkovsky. Some of you recognize me as the co-owner of Flip Flops Donuts, and some of you know me as your broker of real estate, who specializes in waterfront and waterview properties along the Crystal Coast, especially on bogue banks and in my town of Emerald Isle, North Carolina. On this channel, you will find essential information from the inside scoops on buying and selling houses to how to live with the ocean, rivers, and sounds that define the Crystal Coast. Today's episode is all about discovering the newly renovated and renamed Crystal Coast Country Club in Pine Knoll Shores. Whether you visit here occasionally or live here full time, knowing where you can play golf or pickleball and socialize with friends here on bogue banks is a story worth telling. Before I begin, please subscribe to my video channel now or at the end of this episode. Emerald Isle is known for its crystal white beaches, and there is no shortage of activities that take advantage of being on the coast. However, when you are looking to switch things up, consider trading sandy beaches for sandy bunkers, because you are very near the Crystal Coast Country Club, one of the best courses on the Crystal Coast. The genesis of this club extends way back to 1969, when the Roosevelt estate conveyed 100 acres of land to a group of North Carolina developers headed by a man named Mr. Gus Wetz. The covenants attached to the deed stipulated that a golf course was to be built on the property. Construction of the first 9 holes of the course, then known as the Pine Knolls Shore Golf and Country Club, began in 1970. The initial planning was rather grandiose. The original members worked tirelessly to bring plans to fruition. It has been said that some would stop during the course of play to remove rocks and weeds. During 1972 and 1973, the second owner, Autry and Associates, built the original small clubhouse, completed the second 9 holes, constructed the club's tennis courts and swimming pool, and installed sprinkler systems covering portions of the fairways as well as tees and greens. Construction of a 2-story pro shop and golf clubhouse began in March of 1974. At the close of 1975, the club had its new clubhouse, but the golf course itself was not in first-class condition, nor were its finances, and the club faced foreclosure. By year-end 1980, however, the financial problems that had plagued the club were reasonably well in hand, and there was money in the bank. The club, known now as Bogue Banks Country Club, was not only alive but flourishing, partly from monies injected by the Roosevelt estate and partly from the assurances that purchasers of Roosevelt property could be members of the club if they met the club's membership standards. It didn't hurt that Bogue Banks Country Club was the only golf course on Bogue Banks, and the island's permanent and transient populations were growing fairly rapidly. During the late 1980s and through much of the 1990s, the membership continued to grow, along with the growth of Pine Knoll Shores. Bogue Banks Country Club became the focus for social life of newly retired residents looking to make new friends in their chosen retirement communities. On August 18, 2007, Bogue Banks Country Club was renamed the Country Club of the Crystal Coast. The grand opening of the new club was celebrated, and the club began a new chapter in its life. Shortly after the grand opening, new management, new directors on the board, and a new general manager took over the operation of the club. A few lean years were experienced, but membership began to grow once again as other improvements, such as a new swimming pool, beautiful dining facilities, better course maintenance, and a more congenial atmosphere were put into place. In 2018, a devastating blow literally hit the club. Hurricane Florence did a significant amount of damage to the buildings and the golf course. Although the financial situation was dire, the employees and management of the club found ways to maintain operations while insurance and repairs were being accomplished. Unfortunately, this was not enough to make the club financially viable again, and it became necessary once again to seek new financing. There were 2 offers to purchase the club, and ultimately it was sold to PKSCC LLC on January 31st, 2019, and it became now known as the Crystal Coast Country Club. The new ownership made a massive investment into the clubhouse, golf course, pool facilities, maintenance facility, and tennis center. Further, new equipment was purchased to ensure the golf course and grounds were maintained properly. New management was hired with a philosophy that aligned with the new direction of the club. Finally, new activity centers such as pickleball courts and an exercise room were added, which make the club a full-service activity center. With all of these improvements, membership began to rise well above all expectations to almost 3 times the number of members that the club had at the end of 2018. The premier facilities put in place made it a mecca for new members, weddings, and outside events. In early 2020, a global COVID-19 pandemic made its presence known at the club. However, even during this difficult time, the management and staff rose to the occasion by developing and implementing plans that kept the club as safe as possible, as well as keeping it operational and all facilities open. Today, the Crystal Coast Country Club is a semi-private club featuring a newly renovated championship golf course that boasts new tee boxes, new fairways, greens, bunkers, cart paths, bridges, bulkheads, as well as new golf carts equipped with GPS. The golf course has been fitted with Celebration Bermuda grass on the tee boxes, 419 Tifway Bermuda grass on the fairways, and Sunday Ultra Dwarf Bermuda grass on the greens for an ultimate playing experience. A new practice putting chipping green opened this year behind number 1 tee box to allow for warm-up putts before teeing off. There is no driving range. Members have the course to themselves in the AM. Afternoon, anyone can reserve a tee time. Fees, including a golf cart, begin at $79. Mirroring the pride new ownership has in the club, a reasonable dress code has been added. Gentlemen are required to wear a tucked-in collared or mock neck shirt, slacks or appropriate length shorts, denim in good taste, free of holes or rips. Ladies are required to wear slacks, skirts, or Bermuda length golf shorts, as well as a collared or mock neck shirt. Long pants, crop pants, or denim in good taste, free of holes or rips, may also be worn. The course itself is not overly long. After all, it is on an island, and that is a plus for avoiding traffic when traveling to and from the course. The course is tight with numerous water hazards. The views from several holes and fairways, for example number 10, are breathtaking. Short and straight wins the game. A premium is placed on shot placement. You can hit the fairways on several holes and still have to hit the ball over a tree to get to a pin. The GPS on the cart will stop you in the middle of a fairway if you drive in areas deemed low-lying or wet. Some of these areas, to be sure, are marked, but unfortunately some are not. Overall, it is a fun course if you are playing well, but very frustrating if you are not. Greens are very fast. And when you look at your card at the end and see it short, well, that does not reflect the wind. And when you tell your friends what your score was, you probably are not going to let them know that it's a par 70. I played the course 4 or 5 years ago, and it is completely now different than it was then. The group that purchased the course has put a tremendous amount of money and effort into improving the course, and it definitely shows. The people that work here have always been nice, but now they seem extra nice since the amenities they offer have been upgraded. To learn more about playing golf in Emerald Isle and on the Crystal Coast, subscribe to my newsletter by texting your email address to 919-308-2292, or sign up for my blog on my website, www.eihomesforsale.com, and subscribe to Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist on YouTube at the end of this video. Stay well and stay safe. So come on down, please subscribe to my channel below, and definitely return next week to the same bat channel at the same bat time of 9 a.m. on Thursday for yet another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist.